My aunt is 56 years old, so she's not too old yet. She acts pretty young and immature for her age, in fact. She was offered a job as a pharmaceutical sales rep about 3 years ago. And ever since, she's been offered trips and vacations a lot. She's been all around the globe. She even took a 4-week trip to Antarctica in September last year. It's only this year she asked me to watch her house while she was away. I was allowed to live in it for the weekend and help myself to anything in the pantry. I jumped at the opportunity. She makes lots of money, so her house is pretty sweet. It has 2 floors with an attic and basement, and a nice guest bedroom with 2 double beds. She rarely has anyone outside of close family over though, so I'm not sure why her house was so big. The day started out how any day would. I made my way to Aunt's house and retrieved the key she'd hid for me under the doormat. I opened the door and stared at her beautiful house. The walls were lined with vintage floral wallpaper, and the furniture looked straight out of the 60s. It looked antique and elegant. I quickly found the kitchen. Just as I was opening the refrigerator, my eyes caught on a piece of paper taped to the door. It read, "Dear Ash, thank you so much for watching my house while I was away. Below, I have listed a few rules you will need to follow. If you break any of them, I am not responsible for any of the events that may occur. Please follow them closely. 1. From 2 to 3 a.m., you will hear a baby crying in the master bedroom. Do not open the door or say anything under any circumstances. 2. If you need to use the bathroom and you are in the basement, go upstairs to use the facilities. Do not use the basement bathroom. This is important because the basement doesn't have a bathroom. 3. At 5 a.m. to 5:30, you might hear tapping in the guest bedroom. This usually comes from a window by the bed. Do not look out the window. If the curtains are open, close them immediately as soon as possible. Do not look out that window until morning. 4. If you hear rustling in the kitchen in the middle of the night, lock the door to whichever room you are in and find a place to hide. Do not come out until morning. 5. If you hear the doorbell ring at 3 a.m., do not open the door or look out the peephole or window. 6. If you wake up to someone calling you, do not answer. Hide and wait until morning. Do not come out under any circumstances, no matter who it is that is calling you. 7. At 1 a.m., you will wake up to frantic knocking at the front door. Look out the peephole for no longer than 3 seconds. It should be a fat man in a beige trench coat. Say, "It is not here, friend." The man will look frustrated and walk away. 8. If you see a creature in the basement between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m., answer any questions it asks you with "no thanks," and do not look it in the eyes or at all. 9. Do not look in any reflective objects from 3:39 to 3:40. Please follow the rules above for your safety and health. Have a nice day. Aunt Deborah. I stare at the list in my hands. Is this some sort of sick prank? I toss the paper aside and look for something to eat in the fridge. It's stocked with fruits, meats, veggies, and treats. I choose to get a bowl of vanilla ice cream. My aunt has a flat screen in the basement, so I grab my phone and ice cream and make my way down to the basement. I laugh, remembering the rule about the basement bathroom as I stroll past it. I sit down on the couch and turn the TV on. I set it to an old show I've watched 1,000 times and go on Reddit for a while. After about 3 hours, I check the time. 8:46 p.m. I'd head upstairs at 9. My show is interrupted by a loud thump behind me. I turn to look. I see a large creature staring back at me. Its wet tentacles curl in the air, and a dark, burnt face stares at me with two glowing, white eyes. I immediately remember the rule and look away. I've already looked it in the eyes. I hear it coming closer to me. Frightened, I run into the bathroom and lock the door. I can hear the creature panting outside the door.
Would you open the door?
I hear a voice ask. It sounds demonic. No thanks, I say.
Do you want to see me?
No thanks.
Do you want some candy?
No thanks. The panting stops, and I hear it walk away. I turn back to the door. It's gone. I'm in a room with no door. I remember the bathroom rule. If the creature was real, that meant the rules were legit, and I was in a terrible situation. I pound on the wall. I realize my phone is on the couch, and I'm trapped in here all alone. Am I alone? I stay quiet and listen. I hear a low moaning sound coming from behind the curtain. There's no way in hell I'm opening that, I think. I look for a way out. I shut my eyes tight and sit in the corner, as far away from the shower I can get.
I can get you out,
Says a high-pitched voice. I turn my attention to the shower. The face I saw haunts me to this day. Its face was too skinny and wrinkled. It looked like a zombie from a movie. Its eyes stare back at me, a large goofy smile across its face. I stand up and press myself against the wall. Long, skinny, curled fingers wrap around the shower curtain. I don't remember what happened, but I hear a loud crash, and the door appeared again. I took one look at the zombie-like creature before me, and without thinking, I ran out into the hallway. After a few steps, I turned back to see if the creature was chasing me. There was no bathroom in the basement. This was gonna be a long weekend. Update. I'm typing this to calm down. I'm locked in my bedroom waiting for everything to go away. Let me explain what happened. After the whole bathroom incident, I ran upstairs to get a list of rules. I tried to memorize them. I must have read them over 40 times before I got it. I tried to call my aunt, but she didn't pick up. By this time, it was 11:08 p.m., and I was going to go to sleep. I should be able to get in a solid 2 hours of sleep before the knocking starts. If it does start, I keep trying to convince myself I'm imagining it all, but I know I'm not. I climbed into the guest bedroom and tried to sleep. I think I fell asleep for a little bit, but I'm not entirely sure. All I know is I jolted up when I heard a knock on the door. It started out slow, light knocks. Then it turned harder and faster, frantic, like the rules stated. I quickly put on my slippers and ran to the door. I looked out the peephole. It was, in fact, a fat man in a trench coat. He looked worrisome. "It is not here, friend," I yelled from the other side of the door, still looking through the peephole. The man turned his attention to the peephole, looking me in the eyes. I immediately stepped back from the peephole. Shit. I locked the door with a deadbolt and checked out the window. He's gone. Maybe it wasn't so bad. I broke 1 or 2 or 3 rules. Why does the protagonist always find a way to fuck up? I could always leave, but I don't know the consequences. My aunt would also be pissed. I decided to stay for the night and call her in the morning. I walked back to the guest room. 1:05 a.m. I check to make sure all the curtains are closed and lock the bedroom door. My plan is to stay here until morning and hope to God I can follow the rest of the rules. That didn't work out. Knocking started on my bedroom door, just like the knocking on the front door. Slow, soft, and frantic and hard. "It's not here, friend." I tried. Nothing. I tried to call my aunt. This time she picked up. "Why the fuck is there a man knocking on my bedroom door?" I yelled into the phone. I heard her sigh over the phone. "You looked out the peephole for too long. Now that you know he's there, he'll bug you for the rest of the night," she says. I would have known he was there without looking out the peephole for too long. I muttered to myself. True. My aunt says, "He usually doesn't do this. Just try to talk to him. I gotta go. Thanks for watching the house, sweetie." I hear her hang up. I awkwardly wait for a few minutes. It's not there. It's not here, good sir. Can you leave?" I say quietly. I face palm. The knocking stopped. It actually fucking stopped. I'm gonna wait the night out in here and leave tomorrow morning. I'll update if anything else happens. Part 2. Everything seemed alright for a while. though I couldn't sleep at all. At around 2 in the morning, I heard something wailing in the hallway. I pressed my ear against the door. It was faint but distinctive. Crying. Was it a child? I listen harder. The crying gets louder. I open the bedroom door and cautiously peek my head around the hallway. Nothing there. The fat man had gone a while ago, and I hope to God the basement monster disappeared. I sneak down the hallway to where the crying's coming from. My aunt isn't married, nor does she have a boyfriend. If there was an actual child in this house, I'd have shit to deal with. I pinpoint where it's coming from. The master bedroom. I curl my fingers around the doorknob. Wait, I stop myself. There has to be a rule about this. I stop to think. Was there? I pull my hand away from the door handle. I'll just let whoever or whatever is in there cry until they stop. I turned back to go to my room. Then I heard something. Was it rustling? I listened closer. It's coming from the kitchen. There definitely was a rule about that. I look around for my options. It said to go into the nearest room and hide. That was the master bedroom where the crying was coming from. The hallway was too long. It was literally the only room on the hall. I'd have to cross beside the kitchen to go to the guest room. The rustling gets louder. I needed a place to hide. I listen in on the master bedroom. The baby, or whatever it is still wailing. It's hard to listen to. It sounds like a baby that hasn't been fed in its entire life. That's how sad it sounded. I put my hand over the door handle. I know I shouldn't go in. It's stupid. Who knows what could be in there? The rustling stops. I whip around. There's a man standing about 10 feet away from me. I freeze. He's wearing a dark red hoodie and dress pants. His face was horrifying. He hadn't any eyes or a nose, only a small mouth. God, he was terrifying. How the fuck can my aunt live here? I'm frozen for at least a minute, staring back at the man. I watch as his mouth grows, making a gross, cracking sound. His mouth is consuming his entire face. His face is a mouth, with sharp, needle-like teeth. He charges at me. That snapped me out of my trance. I opened the master bedroom door. Fuck this, I thought. I closed the door behind me and locked it. The sound of the man slamming against the door startled me. I scanned the room frantically. Nothing's in here, but it feels off. The whole room has an eerie feeling. I flick on the light. What is that? In the corner I see a dark figure crouched down. It's crying like a baby. No, it's laughing now, like a baby laughing. It turns to me. Even with the light on, all I could see is two bloodshot, crazy eyes staring at me. With the man still trying to break in, my only option was to run into the bathroom connected to the master bedroom. I locked the door and looked for a window. The bathroom door has a small window in the top, like the very top against the ceiling. It's about 2 feet above where I stand, and I'm a big guy, like 6'3" big. I see the eyes in the window. It's staring at me. I see the window. It's huge, but I'm on the second floor. It'd be quite a drop, but I didn't care. I tried to open the window. It's locked, It's in a bathroom, so I didn't expect this to be unlocked. I break the dial of the bathtub and hit the window with it. After 50 strokes, it's only cracked a little bit. I needed something heavier, something bigger. I scanned the room, a drawer. I pulled the drawer out of the bathroom shelf. It's stocked with lotions and shampoo, girl stuff. I throw it against the window as hard as I can. It shatters, making a big crash sound. I look down to see how far I'd have to drop. I can't see anything, it's too dark. I yell in frustration, fuck this. Why is this happening to me? Leave me alone, I yell. The monster's laugh turned distorted and demonic. I just want this night to be over. My cell phone rings in my pocket. Ash, it's me, Deborah. Use the gun, says someone over the phone. Why would you let me come here? I asked angrily. And how do you know I'm stuck in here? I hear her sigh over the line. I'm sorry, Ash, but now's not the time. Use the gun in the drawer, the bottom drawer in the closet. I follow her instructions. There is indeed a gun in there. You've got 2 shots. One for each eye of that thing, she says. I've never shot a gun before, I said. Don't pull that crap. Pull the trigger, she yells angrily over the phone. What are you even doing up this Do it now, she says, frustrated. I point the gun at the creature's eye. It doesn't move. Its face is glued to the tiny window above the door. I pull the trigger. I'll never forget the sound it made. A painful, glass-shattering screech that echoes throughout the whole house. Still, it stays still against the glass. I pull the trigger again on its other eye. The screech is louder this time. I cover my ears and shut my eyes. And then it stopped. Everything. The man stopped trying to break the door. The creature disappeared. I must have waited an hour before gathering up the courage to unlock the door. I checked the time on my phone. 3:38. I remember the rule about mirrors at 3:39. I needed to be careful. As soon as I stepped into the hallway, I ran into the guest bedroom. My eyes immediately catch on a white piece of paper on my pillow. I'll see you tomorrow, princess. It read, princess? What the fuck? Now this guy was insulting me? Whatever, I'm going to sleep. I'm writing this in hopes to calm down a bit, but I'm too scared to sleep. Yes, the door is locked. I'm not an idiot in a horror movie. I'll update if anything else happens.